Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the locker room. And today is a good day because we actually have two people on the show today, except they're not going to be on at the same time. But right now we have Cody from the first episode of our show. So Cody, what's going on?
Not much, Landon. How about you?
I'm good, and nothing's really going on, but we're doing the podcast. Going to be going through some playoff predictions and just going through the NFL playoffs and predicting it. So what's going to happen today is Cody's going to tell us his, and then he's going to hop off. And then Nick's going to hop on, tell us his, and then I'll go over mine. Because Cody has to go eat, and then Nick is eating right now, so it all works out if we just do it this way. But first off, Cody, you can start off by just telling us who updates on your teams and what's going on for your sports teams. Like, what's going on with them?
So, as some of you may know, probably all of you may know, the Packers clinched the NFC North a very long time ago, and they clinched a playoff spot 2 weeks ago. Obviously, last week they clinched their first round bye, and their matchup has Washington or the Buccaneers going against them. And I firmly believe that Tom Brady and the Buccaneers will be moving on to the divisional round. And this is kind of the same setup, just like week 5 in the regular season. Packers coming off a bye week, going against Tampa, and it was not a pretty fight in the season when they went against Tampa. So let the Packers get home field advantage, get the frozen tundra of Lambeau. Maybe it snows, maybe it doesn't. If it snows, heavily in Packers' favor. But I feel like the game might go a different way just because we're playing in Lambeau and we're not playing in Tampa Bay. But that's just a prediction. I'm hoping that after the tremendous, amazing Packers season this year, that they don't get a first-round bye just to get knocked out in the divisionals. I'm praying, just like last year, they make it to the championships. Mm-hmm. But that's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah. All right,
so if they do make it to the championship, I have the Saints going against them in this championship. So,
all right.
I mean...
All right, let's go back to the... All right, before we get to the championship stuff, let's go back to the wild card. And Cody's going to tell you all of his wild cards, so we'll go game by game, going our predictions and how we think the team will win. So, Cody, what is the first team in the AFC that you have on your bracket?
All right, so it's the Browns and Steelers game, and I have the Browns moving forward from that game. Yeah. Right after they just beat them on Week 17. Good win, solid effort, but, you know, Steelers probably weren't putting in 100% of the effort because they already had a clinched playoff spot. But after their loss to Washington, their true colors have been showing. They lost 2 games after that loss, and they kind of fell apart after that one loss. And I believe the Browns have a really, really solid team this year. Even without Odell, Jarvis Landry's not putting up the numbers that used to be.
The Browns do have one problem where they have Kevin Stefanski and 6 players out on the COVID list. So their head coach cannot be calling the plays, which is that can definitely be a problem.
Yeah, the facility shutting down due to COVID is a huge setback for them. But, I mean, it's their first playoff appearance since, 2002, I believe?
Yeah, somewhere around there, like 17 years.
And so, I mean, just them making the playoffs in general is a huge accomplishment. So even if they get eliminated, they obviously are on the right track for next season. So it's not a huge loss, but I do believe that the Browns have enough, even without Kevin Stefanski there. I do believe that they'd be able to hold the Steelers and move on to the divisional.
Okay, I'm not going to reveal anything just yet. I'm going to wait till at the end of the show to reveal my bracket when I go over with Nick. So, next up on your matchup list, who is there?
I have the Colts versus the Bills. Okay. Now, I haven't been following the Colts that much this year. I don't know that much about them as of now. I know that they're a really solid team with a great defense, and nothing crazy, but they're a good team going against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Buffalo Bills moving on to the divisional round. This is just based off of the amount of power that the Bills have been executing this year. They have been, Josh Allen, the first couple weeks of the season, putting out MVP numbers, performing at an amazing level. Had a couple ups and downs, but near the end of the season, they did what they had to do, and they are a very, very solid team. And I feel like out of the Colts, they are the team that deserves to move on, and they're probably going to be more skilled versus the Colts moving on.
Yeah, I do. I agree with I'm not giving anything away yet, but I feel like the AFC wildcards are just so much more closer games, and even though it's 7-2, I feel like the Colts and Bills will still be a very good matchup. But then you go to the NFC, and it's Seahawks, Rams, sure, but I think a lot of people are taking the Seahawks there. Jared Goff might even play. Football team, Bucks. I think everyone's taking the Bucks. And then Saints, Bears. I think everyone's taking the Bears. So I feel like the games are a lot more closer in the AFC than the NFC wildcard for sure. But, alright, I just want to say that. So anyway, move on with your next wildcard in the AFC.
Alright, so my next game is the Baltimore Ravens and Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans.
Who do you have in that game?
Lamar Jackson has probably one of the most embarrassing playoff runs in the past couple of seasons by any quarterback that I've seen. Getting the MVP last year, playing at an inhumane level. He was a Super Bowl favorite by far. He led the Ravens to what? What were they? 15-1, 14-2?
15-1, 14-2, somewhere around there.
Yeah, some incredible number. Even me, personally, I believe that they're going to the Super Bowl, no doubt. And the Titans upset them last year. And so I believe that even though Lamar's choked in the playoffs for 2 years straight, some might believe that he's learned from his mistakes. He's been playing off this season and not putting up the same numbers as last year. Still putting up good numbers, just not the same. So I believe that the Titans, it'll be a very, very close game, but I believe the Titans will come out on top of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially with their running game with Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm. Derrick Henry is a monster. He can't be stopped. But the thing with Lamar is the Ravens are hot right now. They're really hot. They seem like no one can stop them these past couple weeks, but who knows? The playoffs is the playoffs. We never know what can happen, so we'll see there. So now moving on.
You never know.
Yep. Moving on to the divisional. Who is your first divisional matchup? So you had the Browns beating the Steelers, so it would be Chiefs versus the Browns, and then it would be Buffalo. You had the Ravens winning, correct?
No, I had the Titans winning.
Alright, so then it would be Buffalo versus Tennessee. So it's Chiefs versus Browns for you, and then Buffalo versus Tennessee. So let's start with
Chiefs versus Browns.
Yeah.
Do that one first.
Yes.
This is an interesting matchup. Kansas City, amazing as always, doing good numbers this year. They have a lot of wins, but some of those wins were very scary, and they were within close quarters of each other. And as of Week 17, the Chargers did beat them, and my guess is they just weren't playing at the level that they wanted to because they just wanted to rest their players and get ready for the divisional round.
Mm-hmm.
If they were playing full throttle, they probably would have beaten the Chargers, so I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But between their loss to the Las Vegas Raiders and multiple other games that they won within 7 points, I feel like the Browns would give them a run for their money in the first half, but Patrick Mahomes would lead a comeback in the second half and move on with a 7-10 or more point lead against the Browns in the bottom of the fourth quarter moving on.
Yeah, sounds reasonable. We know what Patrick Mahomes can do, but we've seen Baker Mayfield perform well, so you never know what can happen. So, moving on to the next one.
Yeah, that would be a very close game.
Mm-hmm. It would be Buffalo versus Tennessee for you.
So I know I was talking the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry, but the Bills are just so good. And
offensively,
once again, another stinking close game. Like, these AFC games are just immaculate. But I might have to take the Titans over the Bills.
Oh, really?
Yes. Low key, a little bit of an upset there.
Uh-huh.
I know Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are just, like, rolling. But I don't know. I feel like the Titans can pull a really good upset off of them.
Like I said before, I'm not revealing everything, but anything is possible. Anything is possible in the playoffs. Really anything can happen in the playoffs. So there you have Tennessee beating Buffalo.
Yep.
All right, so then it would move on to the Chiefs versus the Titans again in the AFC Championship for the second year in a row. Last year, Chiefs came up on top. Who do you have coming up on top this time?
I think we all know who my guess is going to be. Obviously, the Kansas City frickin' Chiefs.
Why do you have the Chiefs winning this game?
Judged by the fact of the comeback mentality of Patrick Mahomes in the late game, if he ever does have a down by halftime, he'll always lead a comeback, as he did last year in the first half. Titans were rolling, and they were giving the Chiefs a run for their money. But Patrick Mahomes led a huge comeback in the second half last year and led them to the Super Bowl. So I believe that the exact same thing will happen this year.
Mm-hmm. Anything can happen. Again, I know I'm saying that a lot, but I'm not revealing anything till the end. So he has Patrick Mahomes moving on to the Super Bowl for the second straight year. So that means that AFC side, Chiefs are AFC championships for Cody. Or Chiefs are AFC champions, for Cody. So now let's move to the NFC. So this would be the first match of the wild card would be Rams versus Seahawks. Who do you have winning this game?
This is a little bit of a tough one. I know the average person would most likely take the Seahawks over the Rams. But the Rams' defense just has not been doing Russell Wilson or their offense any good at all. They've been holding them down so many points. The first time they went against them, they held Russell Wilson to 0 pass touchdowns for the first time in a long time. And their recent matchup in Week 17, they did come out on top, but it was also another struggle game. You know, Seahawks don't play top caliber when they go against the Rams' defense and Aaron Donald. So I believe for the defensive aspect of it, that the Rams are going to upset the Seahawks and move on to the divisional.
Okay. That is a bold move there by Cody. But as I said before, anything can happen. Defense wins championships, as they say, so we'll see what the Rams can do there. Then it is Tampa Bay versus football team. The Washington football team. Who's going to win this game?
I don't think we really need to go over this one. I think we all know that Tampa Bay is going to win this matchup.
Well,
Washington might show a little glimmer of hope, but I'm strongly passionate about
Washington's got a good defense, but I don't. I'll spoil this one because I can't keep my mouth shut. I think Tampa Bay's going to win. There's no doubt about it because Redskins do got a good defense, but Tom Brady against Washington, I don't think anyone can see Tom Brady losing to Washington, but you never know. But I will spoil, and yes, I do have Tampa Bay moving on to the divisional. And then the last game in the NFC is New Orleans versus Chicago. Who do you got winning?
So the Bears are such a 50-50 team this year. They play so incredibly good some games. Like they whooped the floor with Tampa Bay a couple weeks ago. And then they lose to Packers in Week 17. They wasn't by much, but it was a good lead. So the Bears losing Week 17 to get into the playoffs, finishing at an 8-8 record, that's not the best of records to be proud of while you're in the playoffs. And I think that you're going to be on the lower end of the spectrum, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bears have an amazing defense, like always. And the New Orleans Saints, their offense has been rolling this year, especially with Drew Brees back and Alvin Kamara as a weapon. I believe that the Saints will be able to beat the Bears and move on. Now, if Taysom Hill was playing, I would most likely take the Bears over. But since Drew Brees is back, I would definitely take them over the Bears.
Okay, so that has the Saints winning, Tampa Bay winning, and the Rams winning. And the Rams winning, you predicting that the Rams winning, will help the Packers a lot because instead of playing the Bucks, the Packers will play the Rams because the Rams are a lower seed than Tampa. So since the Packers are the 1 seed, they get the lowest seed left in the playoffs. So therefore, it would be 1 versus 6, and then Tampa versus New Orleans. So it would be Rams, Packers. Who do you have winning that game?
With the Packers and Rams game, I think that it's obvious guess that Aaron Rodgers will beat Jared Goff and the Rams. Rams have an amazing defense. Don't get me wrong, but their offense is nothing
Aaron Rodgers
sweet.
playing at MVP.
Tyler Higbee doing all right in the beginning of the season. Went completely quiet mid to late season. Robert Woods doing all right. Nothing too amazing. But I just don't think that their offense is there yet to be winning or going to the championship games. The Packers' offense is so much more stacked than the Rams. I can't even express it enough. Packers' defense, they do have to work on that. It's medium tier, nothing special. But it would be the Rams' defense deciding the factor if the Packers win or lose that game. But I believe that the Packers will be able to win against the Rams.
Not a bad prediction. Anything can happen. I know I said that a lot in this video, but I truly mean it. It's the playoffs. Really, anything can happen. You guys are probably getting sick of me saying that, but I'm just going to keep saying it because anything can happen. So, now it would be Tampa Bay versus New Orleans, a rematch of Week 1, the division rivals going at it in the divisional round. Who do you got winning?
Now this is probably the most 50-50 matchup in the entire NFC side of the game. Judging by the fact that in earlier weeks, they go to Mercedes Superdome and face the Saints. Now, the Buccaneers make a fool out of the Saints. Completely beat them at home. They did what they had to do. Now, fast forward to a little bit later in the season. Tom Brady gets home advantage against Drew Brees, and the unthinkable happens. The Saints shut the Buccaneers down to only 3 sad points. Now, this is such a flip-flop. Like, both of these teams are probably semi to almost equally skilled, so it's literally just going to be a back-and-forth shooting game until somebody comes out on top. But I believe that they both have old quarterbacks, so they're not going to be doing any crazy run plays. Tom Brady or Drew Brees do not have any run game, but the Saints have 2 good secondary quarterbacks that they can throw in, just like Taysom Hill. They can use them as a distraction. They can make them run the ball, catch the ball, throw and rush the ball. So I believe that because of their quarterback dynamic over there and the fact that they have a good offense, the Saints could probably upset the Buccaneers, even though the Buccaneers are completely stacked on offense as well. It's going to be an
They got
insane
pretty
game.
good defense, too. But yeah, that's actually going to be a very close game. If that game happens, it will be a very close game for sure.
Oh, yes.
For sure. All right, so That makes a Packers. Wait, who'd you have winning? You had the Saints and Bucks. You had Saints.
Saints and Packers going to
So
the
now you
championship.
have Saints and Packers in the NFC Championship, in Lambeau Field. Who do you got winning this one? 1 versus 2 seed. Gonna be a good game. Who do you got?
So, not completely basing this off their season game where the Packers beat the Saints at home. Not completely basing it off of that, but just by the fact that they already went against Drew Brees and their incredible offense once and beat them, I don't see why not that they'd be able to do it again. But at the fact that they're at Lambeau. So they got the home field advantage. They know how the Saints roll their offense. And I believe that Aaron Rodgers is in better prime than Drew Brees, who is just recently coming off an injury. Aaron Rodgers, minimal sacked this year. So,
but you also have to remember,
he's very good.
Saints have a really good D-line, and the Packers just lost their best left tackle and probably the best left tackle in the league in David Bakhtiari, so that will hurt the Packers.
Yeah, losing David was definitely a blow to the Packers. It definitely was. If we had him, we would be rolling easily, but judging by the fact that we don't have David anymore, I still believe that we can beat the Saints, even without one of our best players missing. I don't want to base the whole game off of the missing of David because, you can't do anything about it. And Drew Brees is coming off an injury, as I said, so he's not going to be playing 100%. He might rotate with Taysom Hill or even Jameis Winston if it comes down to it. So Saints defense will perform well against the Packers offensive line. But yeah, I believe that the Packers would be able to come out on top of that game.
So the Packers come out on top and crown themselves NFC champions, which puts them in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. 1 versus 1 seed. The rematch of Super Bowl I. 54 years ago, these two played. And the Packers came out on top. Who is going to be the one coming out on top this time?
So, if this Super Bowl matchup does happen between the Chiefs and the Packers, they should just ditch the Super Bowl name, and everybody should agree on calling it the State Farm Bowl. I think everybody agrees with that one.
Yeah.
The State Farm Bowl reenactment of the very first Super Bowl in NFL history. This will be a great matchup.
Amazing game if it happens.
2 amazing offenses, 2 good defenses. Playing it in Tampa Bay. Now, Packers' last game in Tampa Bay was a loss. I'm not too sure about the Chiefs, but I know the Packers lost when they're in Tampa Bay. But this might be a little biased just because I'm a Packers fan. I would absolutely love for the Packers to beat the Chiefs and have Rodgers get another ring before his retirement.
Yeah, obviously.
That's kind of a biased opinion, though. And, Mahomes has many more seasons left of his life, and I believe that there's somewhat of a dynasty going on in Kansas City right now, so there's nothing to worry about. Even if the Chiefs get knocked out this year, they're still going to be completely fine next year.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, though, it's going to be one heck of a game.
Yes, absolutely.
It's going to go down on the books really good. So, my pick, I might be a Packers fan. This might be biased, but I do want to choose the Packers over the Kansas City Chiefs. 2 amazing quarterbacks, amazing receivers, good run game, stacked offenses, good defenses. Like I said, 2 equal teams.
Yep.
Just see what happens.
So you have the Packers beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Okay, give me a score prediction for it.
Let's go Green Bay with 30 points, and Kansas City gets 27 or 28 points. Like I said, a very close game.
Yeah, very close. Within a field goal, within the 2-point conversion. Cody has the Green Bay Packers coming out on top. and being crowned Super Bowl champions with Rodgers getting one more ring. And I swear, if Aaron Rodgers does not receive the MVP this year, it shows that the NFL is rigged for Mahomes. There is no reason it should go to Rodgers. Sure, Mahomes has more yards. Rodgers has like 8 more touchdowns than him. He has 1 less pick. Sure, he doesn't have the yards, but he went 48-5 as a touchdown ratio. That is or touchdown interception ratio. That is phenomenal. So, great job for doing that to Aaron Rodgers. For Aaron Rodgers, at his age, it's amazing. Great quarterback. One of the best in the league.
And he has the best completion percentage in the league as well.
Best completion percentage. And that's not just from checking down. He'll take some shots if he needs to. So, as we just mentioned, Cody has the Packers beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So now it's time for me and Nick to do our predictions. Cody, thank you for coming on the show again. I really appreciate it. It's
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, always a good time having you on the show to talk sports and everything. So, thanks for coming on, and we'll see you next time. We're about to go get Nick on. Alright, I'm just going to edit this out. Hello guys, we are back, and now we have Nick. So, Nick, say what's up.
What's up?
Nick is back on the podcast, and he actually does have a team in the playoffs. He has the Los Angeles Rams, who are in at the 6th seed, playing the Seahawks this week. So, best of luck to Nick's Rams there. But I'm going to be going through my bracket. Nick's going to be going through his bracket. We'll compare brackets. Cody just did his. We saw who he won. He had the Packers winning it all. Hey, never know what can happen. So, I said it again this episode. I'm going to keep saying it. So, now that me and Nick are on, we're going to start with the AFC wild card. And, Nick, do you want to go first? You want me to go first? What do you want to do?
You go first.
All right. First game. I have Steelers and Browns. Steelers and Browns can be a very close game. Big Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers have not looked great at all. The Browns have looked pretty decent. And that is not enough to convince me that they'll win this game.
Hold on, Lynn. I'm going to stop you real quick. Notice how the past few weeks, Browns' fourth quarter leads, 15-plus points, blew most of those leads. Maybe not losing, but they blew mostly 14-plus point leads.
Yeah, they lost to the Jets.
Fourth quarter.
They almost lost to the Steelers, but they didn't. But the reason I have the Pittsburgh Steelers advancing is because Big Ben knows how to get his team ready for a playoff game. This is Baker Mayfield's first playoff game in his career, and it's the Browns' first playoff game in about 17 years. So I'm picking the Steelers because I feel like Big Ben knows the hype and the exaggeration and all this stuff for a playoff game, and the Pittsburgh Steelers know that. Mike Tomlin know that. They've been there before. They've been there a lot. So that's mostly the reason that I am picking the Steelers to win. And their defense is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Offense is a little rusty, but I have the Steelers winning based off experience in the playoffs, and they know what it feels like when the Browns have not felt that feeling in 17 years. And they have all young team. So that is why I have the Steelers moving on. Nick, who do you have in that game?
I do have the Browns. I mean, the Browns are a young team. They don't have many veterans that have been in the playoffs recently. Yeah, like you said, Steelers, playoff experience. But we've seen how they've been playing the past few weeks. I mean, yeah, the Browns did almost lose to the whole practice squad last week, but, I mean, Browns, I think they played good football, but I don't know. I still have Browns going to win it.
All right, so he's the Browns winning that game. And next game for me, Titans and the Ravens. Nick, do you want to go first on this one?
Yes, I will.
All right.
I do not think the Ravens will win. I'm going to go with the Titans on this one. I do think the Titans are the better team overall. You got Derrick Henry on the team. You got Tannehill, which performed pretty well in the regular season this year.
I agree offensively. Defensively, I think the Ravens have a much better defense. than the Titans. I don't think the Titans' defense is good at all. We've seen the Ravens. Sure, they've played some pretty garbage teams, but the Ravens' defense has played pretty well. So, all right, continue.
I just do not think the Ravens are the playoff team people are expecting. Lamar, obviously, everyone knows this, but he's a running back. He does not deserve to be playing quarterback. He needs to get his throwing down.
He's looked good.
I think he needs a few more years at quarterback, or they might as well trade him to be a running back.
The Ravens are hot right now. The Ravens are definitely hot right now. And even though they're hot, and I know I was just defending them on a lot of things, but I'm still taking the Titans here. I feel like Derrick Henry will not be stopped. I feel like Ryan Tannehill can throw the ball against the Ravens defense. And I don't know, Lamar just needs to handle the turnovers, and maybe it's a possibility they win, but I don't think they can go a game without a turnover against a team like the Titans. So that's why I have the the Titans taking this one over the Ravens. So now, do you want to go first on Bills Colts, or do you want me to go?
You can go.
All right. Bills Colts. I have very high hopes for this game. It's on Nickelodeon. Why wouldn't I? This game's going to be amazing. All right, but anyways, Colts, I think, are a very good team. Offense is kind of slow with Phillip Rivers, but it's still a good offense. Defense, I think, is top 5 in the league, no doubt about it. They can stop the run. They can defend the pass. They have so many athletic players on that team, no doubt about it. But I don't think it's going to be enough to stop probably an MVP candidate, Josh Allen, who's looked phenomenal this year. The Bills' offense has been playing amazing. They destroyed Miami last week, and even their second strings destroyed Miami, so that's saying something. In Miami, easily a top 5 defense in the league. So I don't think anyone will be able to stop Josh Allen in this game. So that is the reason I am taking the Bills, but I do think it will be a very close game in my opinion. Nick, what do you think about this game with Bills?
I am going to take the Buffalo Bills on this one. I don't think the Colts, yet again, another younger team. I mean, yeah, they've been in the playoffs. They've been in the playoffs, like, 3 out of 4 the past 4 years, or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, they do have the veteran quarterback now. He knows what he's doing. He's been in the playoffs once or twice. I mean, I just don't know about the rest of their team. I mean, their run game, phenomenal. You got Jonathan Taylor, potential Offensive Player of the Year in the NFC.
The Chiefs are in the AFC.
Oh, my bad. But for the Bills, I mean, they got Josh Allen. He can throw the ball. We've seen what he's done this year. Like you said, potential MVP, which I do think is going to Aaron Rodgers, but potential MVP. He did have a really good season, probably his best season.
Easily.
And they still got Devin Singletary, which actually had a fairly good year this year. I like how he performed.
He's been decent. All right.
I mean, going into this year, I don't think a lot of people expected Devin Singletary to do good, but he's actually performed pretty well.
Yeah, he hasn't performed bad. So me and Nick both have the Bills advancing there, which will lead me to Titans-Chiefs, but will lead Nick to Titans-Browns. Since, again, I've said this before when I was with Cody, since the Browns, or the lower seed plays the lowest seed left plays the highest seed, which is the Chiefs. So 6-1 with the Browns. For me, it's 4-1 with the Chiefs. So I have the Titans and Chiefs there. Rematch of last year's AFC Championship, but right now it's the divisional round. And we've seen this before too. And the last time the Titans came up on top when it was the divisional, but last year it was the Chiefs coming up on top in the AFC Championship. And I think it's going to be a repeat of last year. I think the Titans will come out strong, but there's no stopping Patrick Mahomes at all. So I do think the Chiefs will blow away with this win, advancing to the AFC Championship for the 3rd year in a row. Okay, so now that you have Chiefs and Browns, who do you have between the Chiefs and the Browns, Nick?
I do have the Chiefs, obviously. When they did win the AFC, easily the best team in football right now.
Obviously, yeah.
They got Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. They got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, I don't know if he's been healthy or not. I haven't really paid attention to that.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out for the season. So They got Le'Veon Bell as their backup because
Yeah.
Edwards
Bell's
Hilaire
actually
did
been
something to his
performing
knee. He's done
way
for the
better than I
year.
expected.
Hilaire got hurt bad. He's done for the year.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, why do you just have the Chiefs winning? Because based on better team, better talent,
Better team,
coaching?
more experience, Super Bowl winners last year.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I have the Chiefs also advancing for the third year in a row. You also have the Chiefs advancing for the third year in a row. And now I am on to the other divisional side of the AFC, which for me would be the Buffalo Bills versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, a rematch of that Sunday night football game in week 14 or 15, I believe. I think it was week 14. And then Nick will have the Bills versus the Titans, if I'm correct there on the seeding. So I'll go first with Bills and Steelers. Steelers haven't looked the greatest. I think they do have that playoff experience, which the Bills do not have. But the talent on the Bills offense outweighs the fact of the Steelers' playoff experience. I think that the Bills will definitely pull away with this win. I don't think Big Ben will be able to handle the Bills' defense, even though the Bills' defense isn't the greatest. I think that Josh Allen offense tear apart the Steelers' defense in an amount of points that Big Ben will not be able to catch up. So this will be sending the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship against the Chiefs. So now you have Titans versus Bills. What are your predictions on the Titans versus Bills game in your playoff bracket?
I mean, I do have the Bills winning it. Like I said, I do think they're the better team. Josh Allen, potential MVP candidate. That offense, really good. The defense isn't the worst, but it could definitely be better, but it is a really good defense. I mean, yet again, they still do have those rough patches of times, but nothing really to do about that.
I mean, there's things you can play better, but I just don't think that the Bills' offense is too good. And that leads to the AFC Championship, where we both have Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. In my opinion, two of a top 3 offense in the NFL. Easily both the top 2 offense in the AFC by far. I mean, Bills offense, phenomenal. Chiefs offense, phenomenal. It's really going to come up of who can take advantage of the times where their defense gets a stop. And I feel like that team is going to be, but I'm joking, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to head to the Super Bowl for the second straight year. They are heading to Tampa at Raymond J. Stadium. I just think that the Chiefs' defense is better than the Bills. This year, it's been performing better. So they're both not great defenses, but in my personal opinion, I think that the Chiefs' defense is going to play better than Buffalo's defense. And in that fact, it will let Patrick Mahomes get time, and he will come back and win this game for the Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you have in Chiefs versus Bills?
I am going Chiefs with this one. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty much all you said. Just, it's pretty obvious why I think the Chiefs are making the Super Bowl.
Because of the Chiefs. So, we have the Chiefs in one half of the Super Bowl. Now we need to go over to the NFC side of things. And I'm going to start off with I started off with the Rams last time with Cody, so we're going to go to New Orleans and Chicago. I'll let you go first on this one, Nick.
All
Who
right.
do you have winning?
I do have the Saints winning this one. I feel like they just are the better team.
Obviously.
I mean, we've seen the Bears, Trubisky, definitely heating up at the end of the year. Second half of the season, Trubisky been playing phenomenal.
I won't say phenomenal, but he's been playing pretty decent.
For Trubisky, he's phenomenal. Let's just say that.
No way, bro. No way. No way Trubisky's phenomenal, but he's been playing pretty decent.
I mean, I just think Drew Brees, Sean Payton, that whole offense as a whole, it's just going to be too much for that Chicago defense.
Chicago's got a really good defense, though. It'll be interesting to see how 42-year-old, I think, is his age, Drew Brees goes up against a top-tier defense like the Bears. But I also had the Saints winning because I just think they're the better team. Saints easily top 10 defense in the league. They got a great defense. They have Kamara. They can put up points. Good defense and putting up points will win you games. That's why I have the not Kansas City, the New Orleans Saints, advancing to the divisional round as the 2 seed. Next game, the football team versus Tampa Bay Bucks. Who do you got in this game?
I do have the Washington football team.
You are a psychopath, bro. No way.
I know this might sound crazy, but I mean, I
Tell
do
me your
have a football
reasons
team.
on why you have the Washington football team.
I mean, they got the Buccaneers. I know Tom Brady does have playoffs. Well, obviously, he's 6 rings or whatever.
He's Tom Brady. Of course he has playoff experience.
But, I mean, he's just too old. I think that Washington team
He's thrown for over 40 touchdowns. I hate to say it, but he's had a better year than Jared Goff, my friend.
I know. Jared Goff, 20 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Not the best.
It's not.
Definitely not the best.
Tom Brady, most people say he's too old, but for a 43-year-old, he has been putting up great numbers. Interceptions are a little rough, but them touchdowns are up there. They're up there, and that is pretty good. They got a good offense. They got weapons. Even though Mike Evans is questionable, I still think that Tampa Bay will pull away the win, even though that I revealed this earlier with Cody. I gave a little spoiler, but I just think that Tampa Bay's offense is top tier. They got a good defense at times, but Washington does have very good defense. It'll be interesting how they mash up, but I do think that Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will pull away with this win. Now, going over to your Rams versus the Seahawks.
Let me go first.
You want to go first. Even though Jared Goff might not be playing, we don't know. He just started throwing a football yesterday, so we don't know if Jared Goff's playing.
All right, I am going to go with the Rams here.
Bye.
We beat the Seahawks once, we lost one once.
Bye. I'm playing. All right.
Yeah, I know. I'm being biased on this one. But I think we have what it takes. We have one of the best, if not the best defense in the league. We got Aaron Donald, that pass rush. I do believe Brockers is back.
You guys gave up 23 points to the Jets. I do think you have good defense, but you gave up 23 points to the Jets.
That was a bad game.
Yo, it was a terrible game.
Just the game plan was horrible.
Before that week, we had our podcast, and we both said no-brainer Rams are winning. We were very wrong there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Rams definitely should have beat the Seahawks the second time around, too, but I feel like they should have at least finished with an 11-5 record, but
9-7 has them at the 6th spot in the playoffs playing the Seahawks. And I'm going to go with Seattle, just basically because Seattle obviously hasn't played well against the Rams, but I think Russell Wilson will flip the switch and he will fire off the ball. He will get that deep ball going. He'll get the short game going. They'll get the run game going. He'll get the medium pass going. He'll get everything going and show the MVP, that quarterback that he was at the beginning of the NFL season. So, I have the Seahawks advancing, beating the Rams, because I feel like they can put up more points. You need to put up points to win. I feel like even if Goff doesn't play, the Rams, I think, will give up or score 15 points at the most, in my opinion. So, we'll see there. But that will move to the divisional rounds of the NFC, where it will be having the Green Bay Packers playing the LA Rams, and then the New Orleans Saints playing the this is your prediction. This is not my bracket, this is Nick's. He has Packers, Rams, divisional, and then Saints, football team, divisional. I don't know how the football team's in there, but it is. All right, Nick, you can start first with the football team and the Saints.
All right, I am going to go Saints. They are the better team. Yeah, maybe the football team will beat the Buccaneers, but Saints overall, the better team. That's all I got to say.
I agree. For your picks, if you didn't pick the Saints here, might have had to kick you off the show. I mean, Nick, if you picked the Saints over the football team, bro.
I can't believe they're the freaking 4 seed. I know. I'm still mad that the Giants didn't make it in. I wanted to see the Giants.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. I don't know. Doug Peterson needs to get fired, just like Kevin Cash.
What do you mean? I like Doug Peterson. He won them a Super Bowl. He cannot say he has to get fired.
He's the football version of Kevin Cash, okay?
No. He did that on purpose, though.
Well, yeah, but
he wanted to lose. You want Jamar Chase in the draft. You want to get a high pick. I don't blame him. Jalen
I think
Hurts
Jamar's going to those. This is for a whole different podcast, but I think Jamar's going to the Lions if he's still there. I'll just say that right now.
I think the Eagles will take him if he's there because the Eagles have a higher pick than the Lions, but you never know. All right, that will be a different podcast episode there. But now it's my side of the bracket where it will be. I had the Saints winning, and I had the... Who did I have winning? I had Saints winning,
Tampa?
And I had Seattle winning. So, Seattle versus New Orleans. I think this will be a phenomenal game. Good offense versus good offense. But it may come to a shocker, but I have the Seahawks winning this one and advancing to the NFC Championship because all Wilson needs to do is just offensively outperform Breeze and they win. That's all you need to do. And I think that is very possible. If he outperforms Breeze and just puts up more points, which is very possible, even though the Saints have a very good defense, I still think Wilson is that MVP quarterback. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. When I think of the Seahawks, I think of a very not so great football team just with a Hall of Fame quarterback, and that's why where they are right now. And I think Russell Wilson is going to take them farther in the playoffs and take them to the NFC Championship. So, next for you, you would have the Packers versus the Rams. Who do you have winning this one?
I do have the Rams. Not just playing, I was playing.
Oh, I was about to say, dude.
I mean, it could happen. Who knows? But yeah, the Packers, second best team in football. So
debatable. Very debatable.
Debatable with the Saints and
Chiefs.
some other teams, but
Very. Did you just say football team?
no, I said Saints.
Okay, I was about to say, did you just say football team? Dang. All right. So now it would be for me, Green Bay versus Tampa. Very close game. We saw it. Packers coming off the bye week, as Cody mentioned earlier, got destroyed. I mean, obliterated. Very badly. By Tampa. That will not happen again. I think Tampa will easily lose this game. Because Aaron Rodgers, MVP quarterback. Packers, I think they have a good top 15 defense. They do not have a bad defense at all. I think they can shut down Brady. That's just my opinion. I think they can shut him down, and I think Rodgers will have a bounce-back game, and he wants revenge. Plus, it's in Lambeau this time. They don't got to travel. And Tampa has to come play in the cold weather. And if it snows, that gives the Packers an even bigger advantage. So I will have the Packers advancing to the NFC Championship versus the Seahawks here. So, now that we have our NFC titles, or NFC Championship set, Nick has the Packers versus the Saints. That's who you have?
Yep.
So, Nick, you can go first between the Packers and Saints. Who do you
Great.
think?
I do have the Packers going over the Saints. It's going to be a very close game. It's going to be very...
With the Saints.
Huh?
Going with the Saints. Why do you got the Saints going?
Did I say the Saints?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to say Packers.
Okay, he is the Packers going.
I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they got Aaron Jones. They do have David Bakhtiari out. So, I mean, that is a hole right there on that left side.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is a very big hole there.
That is a very big loss, but
probably the best left tackle in football.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Drew Brees is going to be a very close game. Two teams just really good offenses, really good run game, really good pass game. It's going to be close.
There's to it. It's an offensive game. Now I have Saints-Packers also. Packers, MVP quarterback, as I said before, Aaron Rodgers. Great offense, top 15 defense. Saints, top 10 defense, but top 15 offense. Breeze, I don't have faith in him, so I'm going with the Packers, who are advancing to the Super Bowl, because sure, Breeze, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, easily, same with Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think he has the arm. He can throw some dump-offs to Kamara, but I know that Rodgers will be able to get it done for the Packers because he has that mindset that he can do anything. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball if he needs to. He can be a great quarterback and lead the Packers to the Super Bowl, as I think he will. So now, we have the same Super Bowl. Me, you, and Cody all had the same Super Bowl. I had Packers-Chiefs. Cody had Packers-Chiefs. And you have Packers-Chiefs. And I'm going to let you go first on this one because I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Who do you have winning the Super Bowl? And give me a score prediction. Packers versus Chiefs.
All right, I got Chiefs winning it. I mean, best team in football, first of all. It will be a close game if that does end up being the case. It's going to be a very close game. It's going to be very high scoring. 40-plus points for both teams.
Whoa.
I'm not going to say a specific number, but 40-plus points for both teams. Almost 90 points combined.
Dang. He's going with high
I mean, it's going to be a good Super Bowl. It's going to be like the Saints-Packers. It's going to be all offense.
Yep. It's going to be amazing.
I mean, yeah, yet again, Chiefs don't have the greatest defense. Packers have a better defense. But still, it's going to be an offensive game because you got Mahomes. You got arguably one of the best.
It doesn't matter which defense you put up. It doesn't matter which defense you put up against Mahomes. It's about how the offense responds because the defense is not going to stop Mahomes. I'm sorry, they just aren't.
Yeah, I am going to go Chiefs winning it.
He is Chiefs winning. Over 40 points for both teams is what he said. In my Super Bowl, as you heard before, Cody and the Packers winning by a score of 41-38. The winner of Super Bowl 55 in Raymond James Stadium is the Green
Bay. Are you about to say the Carolina Panthers?
No, I was about to say Kansas City Chiefs, but no, they're not winning. The Packers win the Super Bowl by a score of 41-38 on a last-second field goal. I feel like the Packers defense they can get opportunities to shut Mahomes down, and when they do, Rodgers will take advantage of those opportunities and go down the field and score to get the lead on them. It will be a very close game, easily last-second field goal game in my opinion. So I have the Green Bay Packers winning Super Bowl 55. We all had Kansas City and Green Bay in the Super Bowl. Nick had Kansas City winning. Me and Cody had the Packers winning. Nick, do you want to place a bet that if Kansas City and Green Bay play in the Super Bowl, if Green Bay wins, you owe me $10. If Kansas City wins, I owe you $10. Do you want to make that deal?
Let me think about it.
Oh, he's scared now that Kansas City's gonna lose.
No, let me see.
All right, we'll let you know next time on the podcast, guys, if we do make the bet. I think he's scared that the Chiefs are gonna lose, honestly, if they do make it. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning back in the locker room. Big thanks to Cody and Nick for coming on the show. So this is gonna be another episode with our playoff predictions. Adios, amigo. We'll see you guys next time.